Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Super Mario. Let's make a Super Mario game. I apologize for last week. I haven't really posted much. I really apologize for that. Last week was a pretty long week. It was my birthday week, and then I had a lot of stuff that was going on. But anyways, we're back at it this week, and in the last episode, what did we do in the last episode? Oh, we ended up rendering something on the screen. So if you're running, we should have like a Mario sprite on the screen. There we go. One thing I want to do, just for me though, actually, because the game window actually spawns in a different monitor, in a different monitor. I actually wanted to spawn in here so that way I don't have to keep dragging it. So let me change that numbers. Where do we? It's right here. Let me see. Let's make it 1620 and make it 40. Do 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 do. There we go. That way I don't have to keep dragging it outside. Keep dragging it all the time. But anyway, so in this episode we will be making our player class and making Mario move around. That's basically our goal in this video right now. So let's get to it, shall we? Um, let's create a class. What am I doing here? I believe I don't have any folders in here. So anyways, let's add a class. Let's add a little class. Let's call this player. And make sure it's inside source, the source folder. Now that we have that, alright, we're gonna have if and def. We're gonna create a little things on the top as always. Player H and if. Alright, so we're gonna include our, where's that? No, not common components. Let's include our component class. We're gonna inherit from it and components. We're gonna pass an entity pointer in here. So let's see what we're gonna need in this class. We definitely gonna need an update. I don't need a render because nothing. I shouldn't be rendering anything. And that's about it so far. Right. So we can have a some private stuff in here. So this is what we have to do in here. So this is what we have to do. One, move back and forth. Move back and forth. That's what we're gonna be doing. Second, jumping. So that means we have to include gravity. We have to include gravity in here. What else do we need to do? Move back and forth, jumping, gravity. That's about it, actually. There shouldn't be anything much more than moving in here. Let's see. Yeah. So far, that's about it. All right. So we can include in here. We're gonna have a float. We're gonna pass in the speed. We're gonna work with one first, so let's work with that. A float speed. I want to actually have my own vector 3 here. And have vector, oh no, velocity. I think I do want to do that. Give me a second. Hold on. Do I really want to do that? Increments. Yeah, that should be fine. I know my entity class has a velocity already. But this, I'm gonna be... Well, can I do that there? Yeah, I believe I can, right? Alright, I believe I can. So instead of velocity, I'm actually gonna have... Just have a const float. And just say max velocity. Max... I guess you could say horizontal velocity. And you can set that to... Temporarily, let's set it to 50 for now. For now, we may be up, not will be. We will be updating that. Make it 150. Max horizontal velocity, set it to 150. Speed should be fine. Yeah. That should work. Okay, go. Let's add this to our CPP file. I'm gonna pass in an entity here. Now, do that really quick. Nope. Okay. We want to set our initial velocity. Not initial, I mean regular speed. Let's set our speed. Set it to 10 for now. We're gonna be tweaking this as we keep going through our things. Let's see. So we can include our. You can go into inputs and we can include our input manager. We're gonna have input manager pointer inputs equals them. Well, you know what? Instead of actually passing that, let's passing app engine. This engine is the one that contains our inputs. Get engine, get inputs. So in here, we're gonna say if inputs is key. So once you press, so that means it has to be pressed down. You're gonna say keypad keys underscore. Let's work with A. And we also could do D. We're also gonna work with D. So we have our let's see, vector 3. Set that to bell and say entity get velocity. You can so A negative, it should be the other way. You're gonna not set that. Can you add? No, okay. We can add a vector 3. Sucks because I should be able to have an add function or method. I mean, yeah, that will. But for now, just make this work this way. We can have. You can set that to negative speed, and everything else should be 0. Wait, oh no, it's plus. What am I doing? Set that, and then you want to set velocity. Set velocity And of course, I don't have the other one. Yeah, minor tweaks that we can do on this engine. That way we don't have to do this all the time, but that's fine, I guess. And Z should be 0 anyway. Um, let's try this out. Let's see how this looks like. It may not do anything. It may do something or nothing at all. So let's go to our game scene. In here, we want to include our player class. So include player, and inside of here where we create our Mario entity, we want to say player. Hey player, equals new player. And you're gonna pass in the entity in it, and why is that? Why did that fell on me? Why is it fell? Oh, so because it needs a pointer. My bad. I believe I don't need to set anything to it at the moment. That should work. Or any another thing we can do. Yeah. I'm not sure if it could give me an error because it's not being used. Yeah, it's working. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Look at that. So we're like, oh, it's going too fast now. So what do we have to do now? We gotta say if velocity. What do you want to do? I can't really say velocity.x. Or can I? Let's try that. Let's see, velocity.getX. If it goes greater than max velocity, horizontal velocity, my bad. But the problem with this is that, yeah, that should be fine. Make sure we want to set we want to set x to max horizontal velocity. Now we also want to check it the other way. Make sure if bell.that get x the negative, well no. If it's less than the negative or max horizontal velocity, and we want to set it to that, we want to make sure it doesn't, make sure we're clamping it. I'm not sure if this probably can end up being too fast anyway, but one way to find out. Because if I keep pressing, it's going to be forever. See, now there we go. See, now you see that when you change directions, it takes a little bit. It takes a while to change directions. The only issue now, the bug that we have right now, is that once you release it, it's still going to keep going. It's still going to keep going forward. So, I mean, right now I'm not pressing anything. It's like, wait, why does it keep moving? Why isn't there nothing stopping it from, you know, doing its thing? So, what we want to do, we want to have a const float. Let's call that friction. We want to set friction to 0.9. There's nothing like. I just set it to 9.6 for now. Let's test that out. Let's see how that looks. And we want to set it to here. Every time you set it, make sure you actually multiplies with that friction, so that each time it multiplies, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So once you let go, it stops moving. You're like, yeah, awesome. Make sure the other direction as well. Woo! Awesome. Okay, so we have horizontal movement already. It looks fine to me, actually. My first guess. I mean, pretty sure we're going to be tweaking it in the future, but so far it's looking good. So basically we're checking. Let me write some comments because that's something I need to work on. So basically checking for horizontal input. Clamp horizontal velocity, and then reset velocity and multiply it with friction. So now we have that. Now we want to do now is that we want to check for checking vertical movement or inputs. So what do you want to do for now? Just copy that, and horizontal. Oh, actually, it's only one. Actually, it's only one input. Because pressing down will crouch, which we'll not do in this video, but it is in the works. Actually, when the time comes, actually. I mean, I can do it, but I just have no way of displaying it right now. Well, we'll see. We'll see right now. Well, you know what? It's actually my bad. It shouldn't be W. It should be up arrow. Because W, you actually you look up to be able to go inside doors, right? Or is it the arrow? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna use arrow though. Up arrow. Or key up in my case. So we want to have some variables in here. Let's see what we can need. First of all, we do need gravity, which for now, let's see. I forget if positive's up or negative. I think negative. Well, I guess one way to find out is there's only one way to find out. So we have const float. We can include gravity. No, not const. We have float m, jump force, or just jump velocity, whatever we want to. We also gonna have a boolean. And you say is jumping. Let's try that out actually. Or you know what? For now, temporarily, since we don't have no level or at least the ground, we're gonna define it for now. And we're gonna set that to, let's set it to 300. This could be a collision, so that it doesn't go beyond 300, basically. So what are you gonna do right now? Or would be better if this was somewhere else. Actually, we'll clean this up. M is jumping. You're gonna set that to true. Did I set it to false? Set that to false. We're gonna set jump force. We're gonna set that to 10. Let's see how that looks. We're gonna set velocity y. We're gonna set that to jump force. Okay, so now the problem, not the problem, but let's say if m is jumping, we're gonna not tweak this. We can clean it up afterwards. But for now, let's make it work. We see f bell velocity. We set that to that. I believe it should be negative. Yeah, because I believe positive is going down. So our gravity should be positive actually. So if it is jumping, we want to bell that get not set. Excuse me. Whew. we want to set velocity at X. We're gonna set our float bell Y. We're gonna set that to no, it's not gonna work. Yeah, I mean actually, well, for now, bell Y with gravity. We're gonna set equals gravity times dt, and you say about the current velocity in at the gravity with it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna check if entity get position dot get y. If it's greater than ground, I just say, hey, I'm not jumping anymore. It's jumping equals false. Bell dot set y equals 0. Another thing you can check here actually, if currently, actually just copy that. Currently, if I'm less than the ground, then say m is jumping true. Temporarily, I just say if it's not jumping, and I want to make sure we check for that too, that we false. Let's see how this looks. Excuse me. It is moving, it's just so slowly. It's moving so slowly. That means we have to increase gravity. Let's increase gravity, shall we? Yeah, you're actually gonna make me do it, aren't you? And the problem with this, you know what? For now, let's find the actual value and eventually set it to const afterwards. Because that's being a little weenie, I'm gonna have to keep building it over and over, and I hate that. For now, let's find the actual value for it. Let's see, 20. A good value for it to jump down. Okay, kinda, it's getting there. So 50. 50 times gravity. Okay, 150 times gravity. Oh, it's getting there. 250 times gravity. Does it ever stop? Yes, there we go. Now it stopped. Let's do it 400. 450 times gravity. Okay, so that means I may need more jump force than I already have right now. Okay, one is not working. If it is jumping, okay, then I check to see if I'm ground. I mean, another thing you can do here is check to see, make sure, I'm trying to figure out, maybe it's going beyond the bounds of it. It sets velocity, but then I'm like, well, I am greater than that, so it sets it back to false and it never sets it. But if I actually set the ground to equal that, I mean, it's never greater. The next time comes back around, and it should be okay. Oh, there we go. I saw a little jump there. Okay. Let's see a little bit more push. That's a seriously huge jump force, though. Wow. Interesting. I find that very interesting. Gravity times dt. I set the current velocity. Oh, okay. Well, that's smart. Woo. Okay. Well, one issue right now that I have is that if you keep pressing, it's gonna keep going forever up. So, or I could jump multiple times, which I don't want to do. So one thing you got to do is make sure you're not jumping when you're pressing the key. So up here, when you're pressing input, make sure it's not jumping, and key is up. I probably should have like a little cooldown or something, so that way. Well, I actually don't even know how actually the game works. So I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to play it for a little while. Oh, hold on. It seems like it's a little bit too much though. I don't know. I feel like it's too strong. It's a matter of tweaking stuff and make sure it feels good, you know. Hmm. Gravity's 150, right? And multiplied by dt. It just keeps incrementing multiple times. It sets it to velocity. The current one, and since this is the opposite of what this equals, it makes it less. Which is fine. It increments it multiple times. Hmm. Let's see. Jump force, set it to that. If I remove dt from this, it's going to be an issue though. That means I have to make this so much smaller than it already is. So right now I feel like it's too strong though. Let's decrease. Make it 80. A matter of tweaking stuff. Okay, that feels a little bit better. That feels so much better. Alright, cool. Now we have, okay. Now we have that. So what are we doing here? Checking for vertical input. is to make sure we aren't already jumping as well. It's just to check for at least for initial startup mostly, but because if I remove this, it will stay in the air for a while, I believe. It's just for initial startup at the beginning. I mean, one way to avoid that. Yeah, I don't want to avoid that. Yeah, so it's making sure if I'm not jumping, if not jumping, but I'm in the air, flip Boolean to apply gravity. So then here it'd be like, hey, I'm jumping. So it applies gravity. So apply gravity if jumping. Is disable gravity once it hits the floor. It hits the floor. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and one thing I gotta do to make this a little bit cleaner. Let's say I want to say on jump. How would I go about this? Um, yeah, you can just do that. And avoid. Apply. Let's play apply gravity. And avoid. Apply horizontal movement. Yeah, quick actions. Set it to that. Eventually set in here. Only problem with here though. Only problem with this is that one, it does not know velocity or DT. I could pass DT actually, so I have no issues with that. I could definitely pass DT in it. That saves trouble for that. I forgot how to clean this up. I mean, there's not really much you can do. I think it's getting velocity on top for applying velocity. Apply gravity. And then we set it. But, you know, it'll be easier if it's just actually just set it when it comes to make sure you don't pass friction here though, because it only needs to do it once. Remove that so that way I'm not calling velocity 3 vector 3 all the time, but it calls it only when I'm jumping. So I could remove this. So in here is apply horizontal movement. One thing probably best is if instead of passing in here, I can have like a boolean determining which side I'm going to, if it's left or right. Um, Or I can just leave it there. I mean, I was going to create another function that would actually be checking for input, basically. I don't really want to do that in here. So, let's bring this in here. And just say, have another boolean. I'm trying to figure out how to do this right now. Give me a second. Yeah, it's moving left. And bool M is moving right. Let's set that to false. Set that to false. And say M is moving left equals true. M equals moving right equals true. Okay, one thing you want to do though is on top, let me set it to false or the bottom, either way, which one, whatever works. Let's make to see how that looks. And inside of here, you're just gonna check. Let's copy this. And in our apply horizontal movement, copy that in here and just say if moving left, do that, or if moving right, do that. We add velocity movement, and then we set our thing, so we don't need that in there anymore. We don't need the clamping anymore, and we don't need this in here anymore. And we don't need that anymore. Another thing that we can also do, just say void check inputs. And just say, let's add it to the CPP file. And just be like, hey, check for input. Check for input. Okay. Yeah, I found something else that's gonna be a bug, but gotta remove that. One issue's this. How would I? Ow. Ugh. I am not jumping because I wanted to set it once. That's what I want to do it. How can I go about this? How can I go about this? Actually. Interesting. Very interesting. So we have that. I wanted to do it just once though. So the only way I could think of it is having another boolean. And just say bool m was jumping. And set that to false. And here is set to true. And apply gravity. If it wasn't jumping, and just say here if m was jumping, Or say initial jump or something, somewhere around those lines. And just say equals true. And then when it hits the floor, it sets to false. Was jumping. Well, yeah, like I said previously, I was jumping because I already had pressed it. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'm cleaning up this stuff, guys, so it looks clean. Okay, so first you want to be like check for inputs. Now once we check for input, we want to apply horizontal movement and apply gravity for jumping. So we have an argument. Oh, DT, my bad. Ooh, something went wrong right there. Hold on. Why did he keep flying all the way up for? Is jumping equals true? Okay, fine. Oh. Oh, you know what? If, hmm. No, you want to say here is true. Actually, here should be true, actually. My bad. But this just checks for initial. If I'm already in the air, but I did not jump. You don't want to say jumpy because otherwise it's going to apply the force. Does it apply jump force once? Oops. Where do you come from? Okay. So we have that. So we have horizontal movement as always. And then we have our jump. Like, yeah! Okay. So another thing that we can do here, actually, we can have, let's create here. So for now, let's say speed equals m speed, okay? Right? And just say if, or you can do it here actually. Let's say if m is jumping, but we pressed this button, so that means the speed should be like, let's dim it down by half. Otherwise, this equals regular speed. It's just more refining. And set that to that. Same thing here. So if we play this, it'll be like, yeah. So normally you're able to jump here correctly. But if you jump and press forward, it takes a while. Which is exactly how in the game does it. Okay, so now that we have that, probably it still be a bug though because I can keep pressing. I press forward then jump. I applies this first though, before he checks jump. Or does it? Oh no, he set it to true. Cause that means speed. I guess you gotta say if I'm not moving as well. If I'm jumping, oh well, no, that does not work. Because I check the input first and then I check this. So if I say if I'm not pressing forward, it has to be the initial. I think, well, am I? If initially, oh, because if I press this 2 equals false, that means yeah, it's a dumb thing to check for. Um, One simple way that we can check. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's like you can notice it a tiny bit, right? So I jump, press forward, which works fine. I move forward, but I don't know. Am I tripping? Right? I think I'm tripping. Okay, I'm gonna forget about what I said. Okay, another thing that will make this a little bit awesome and cool is to be able to say M entity set scale. What is this magic thing gonna do? What do you guys think? What is this gonna do? Why am I doing this? Why? 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 Why am I doing this? Yeah, I didn't change anything, so why did I do that, huh? Ah, there we go. Now we're able to flip directions as well. Haha, awesome. Cool. Um, yeah, that's about it, guys. I mean, I wanted to create something really simple with movement. Um, if I did anything wrong here, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything here that I probably could have done better. Well, basically what this is doing is if I jumped without forward movement. Oh wait, you know what? If I'm in air without. If I'm in air and then make sure speed is decreased. If I'm in air, or in the air, I guess, if I want to be a little bit more better at reading this. If I'm in the air, then if I'm in the air, if I'm in the air, then make sure speed is decreased. So if I jump first without any forward or horizontal movement, so I jump and then press forward and then be like, oh hey, speed should be reduced, right? I was trying to figure this thing out. Give me a second. I feel like I have something wrong here. This is not working correctly. This is what it should be doing. So this is what I do when I'm not when I'm thinking a lot. So if I'm jumping, but what if I already am having velocity on it? Well, one is I already checked horizontal movement. It does not set it until I'm in here. So velocity at first should be 0. So let's try that. If I'm jumping and bell dot get x. Let's try it. Let's make sure this is gonna be positive though. And you set that to equals 0. Fabs, but also set it to floor. Make sure there's no decimal, like really small decimals going on in here. If I'm jumping but velocity at first equals 0. See how that looks. So I'll be like, hey, okay, that works. Oh no. It still does. It does. It's not as cool. Maybe I could decrease it a little bit more. So that feels a lot better now. So maybe I decrease it maybe by 3. Because the thing is, I set it, then eventually you can set it to that because then it's not right. That's why I'm. Yeah, that does not work. Um, let's see. Well, one thing I can check to see if velocity. No, I mean I actually liked it better this way because you actually can see the difference. I may have to come back to this again just so that I can figure out what's going on or how can I fix this, because initially if I did jump without any of that, then that should always be speed divided by 2. Always. Because I can jump. Right now, if I jump, press press forward, I'll have velocity halved, right? My velocity would be halved. But I can move forward and then jump. That means that this is gonna be wrong because I already initially had pressed forward before. I only want to do it when I initially pressed jump without any forward or backward movement, and then I press left or right. Hmm. How can I go about that? How can I go about that? How can I go about that? I mean, I could have another boolean, which is gonna be lame. That if, only if, press up first before pressing forward, then I could do that. But let me look at it again. I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking I'm just being dumb. I mean, yeah, I guess it works fine, right? If I press forward then, yeah, I guess so. I guess I can leave it like that for now. Right? Yeah, I guess so. Apologize for my dumb thinking, guys. Let me flip sprites. Just flip sprites. Everything else should be fine. Cool. Sounds great. Alright, well, this is about it, guys. I got nothing else that I want to do with player movement at the moment. So far, it has a lot of cool stuff already, which is great. I mean, I do have to do the crouch, but there's not really much I can do because I don't have anything. I don't have the sprite yet, and the crouching is really simple anyway, so I don't have to worry too much about it. I can crouch and jump, but I can crouch. I can't move forward though. Can I? I can't move forward once I jump though. But anyways, this video is already long enough, so I may have a second parter of player movement in the future, or maybe my next video will be a second parter where I do the crouch and do this functionality for that. And maybe a little bit more tweaking a little bit on the values on this, but so far it looks great, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's anything in here that you guys think that I should have done better, let me know. Feedback is always welcome, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And in the next video, we'll do a second part of our player movement. So just make sure it's a little bit more refined. And hopefully, if it doesn't take too long, then I can start doing animations. We'll see about animations actually, because I still have to find the sprite sheets and stuff. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Share this video with other people so they can enjoy this awesomeness of this. So they can enjoy the awesomeness of making a Mario game. You know. But I hope you guys, have a great time. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great day. I mean, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Signing out, guys. See you guys later.